Welcome to the Inspiring Tech Leaders podcast with me, Dave Roberts. This is the podcast that talks with tech leaders from across the industry, exploring their insights, sharing their experiences, and offering valuable advice to technology professionals. The podcast also explores technology innovations and the evolving tech landscape, providing listeners with actionable guidance and inspiration. In today's podcast, I'm going to reflect on the much-discussed AI 2027 scenario, which has been making waves across the tech community and even reaching the highest levels of government. It paints a picture of superintelligent AI systems that could fundamentally reshape our world by late 2027. But as we know, predictions, especially in technology, are often widely optimistic or unnecessarily pessimistic. I want to cut through both the hype and the fear to discuss what's actually realistic, what's genuinely exciting, and what we should be preparing for. A spoiler alert, this isn't going to be a doom and gloom scenario, nor is it going to be uncritical cheerleading for AI. Instead, I'm going to try to take a balanced but fundamentally optimistic view of where AI is heading. While the most extreme predictions probably won't come to pass by 2027, the realistic developments we can expect are still pretty remarkable. To understand where we're going, we need to understand where we are. And frankly, where we are in 2025 is pretty extraordinary, even if it doesn't always feel that way, because we've gotten used to these capabilities so quickly. Let's start with some concrete numbers from Stanford's AI Index, which provides one of the most comprehensive data-driven views of artificial intelligence development. Last year, 78% of organizations reported using AI, up from just 55% the year before. That's not just tech companies, that's across all industries from healthcare to manufacturing to education. But here's what's really interesting. Nearly all companies are investing in AI, but only 1% of leaders consider their organizations mature in AI development. This tells us something crucial about where we are in the adoption curve. We're still in the early stages of figuring out how to effectively integrate AI into our workflows and processes. The technology itself has been advancing at a remarkable rate. For example, looking at context windows, which are essentially the short-term memory of large language models. Google's Gemini could process 1 million tokens in February 2024, but by June of that same year, it could handle 2 million tokens. That's a doubling of capability in just 4 months. To put that in perspective, that's like going from being able to remember a short conversation to being able to hold an entire context of a novel in working memory. We're also seeing AI systems achieve what would have been considered impossible just a few years ago. The latest GPT models can now pass the uniform bar examination in the top 10% of test takers. It can answer 90% of questions correctly on the US medical licensing examination. These aren't party tricks. These are actual demonstrations of genuine reasoning and knowledge application at a professional level. In the real world, AI is making tangible impacts. The FDA approved 235 AI-enabled medical devices in 2024, compared to just 6 in 2015. Waymo is providing over 150,000 autonomous rides each week in the United States, and in China the robotaxi service is operating in numerous cities. These aren't experimental programs anymore, they're actual services that real people rely on. But perhaps most importantly, the economics of AI are changing rapidly. The cost of AI inference, which is the cost of actually running AI systems, has dropped by over 280 times between 2022 and 2025. Hardware costs are declining by 30% annually, while energy efficiency is improving by 40% each year. This isn't just about making AI cheaper, it's about making AI accessible to organizations and individuals who couldn't afford it before. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the AI 2027 scenario that's been generating so much discussion. This speculative scenario, created by some very credible AI researchers, paints a vivid picture of AI systems becoming super intelligent by late 2027, potentially leading to mass economic disruption and even existential risks for humanity. These researchers have impressive credentials, and their concerns about AI safety are legitimate and important. But as Gary Marcus, a well-known AI researcher and critic, points out, there's a significant difference between a compelling narrative and a scientific prediction. The AI 2027 scenario reads like a thriller, which is both its strength and its weakness. Here's the thing about predictions in AI. We have a long history of being overly optimistic about timelines. Remember when we were told that hallucinations in AI systems would be solved within a matter of months back in 2023? They're still here. Remember when we were promised that we'd have driverless cars by 2017? The technology exists, but it's only deployed in about 10 cities across the entire world. This doesn't mean that AI isn't advancing, it clearly is, but it means we need to be realistic about the pace and the nature of that advancement. The pattern we see repeatedly in AI is that capabilities improve steadily, but the timeline for widespread deployment and resolution of fundamental challenges is usually much longer than initially predicted. So what can we realistically expect by 2027? Let's break this down into different domains. In the workplace, we're likely to see what McKinsey calls superagency, where humans and AI systems working together in ways that amplify human capabilities rather than simply replacing them. The research shows that employees are actually more ready for this than leaders realize. Workers are already using AI tools regularly, and they're eager to develop AI skills. The barrier isn't employee resistance, it's the challenge of integrating AI into existing workflows effectively. By 2027, we can expect to see AI agents that are genuinely helpful for specific tasks. These won't be general-purpose superintelligent systems described in the more extreme scenarios, but they'll be sophisticated tools that can handle complex, multi-step processes in defined domains. Think of an AI agent that can help a doctor analyze patient data, suggest treatment options, and even draft parts of medical reports, but still under human oversight with clear limitations. In healthcare, the trajectory is particularly promising. We're seeing AI systems that can match or exceed human performance with specific diagnostic tasks, particularly in medical imaging. By 2027, we can expect these systems to be more widely deployed and integrated into clinical workflows. The global AI healthcare market is predicted to grow from $11 billion in 2021 to $187 billion by 2030, with much of that growth happening in the next few years. But here's where we need to be realistic. These systems will still have significant limitations. They'll be excellent at pattern recognition and data analysis, but they'll struggle with the kind of complex reasoning and contextual understanding that human doctors excel at. The most successful implementations will be those that recognize these limitations and design human AI collaboration accordingly. In education, AI is likely to enable more personalized learning experiences. We're already seeing AI tutoring systems that can adapt to individual learning styles and pace. By 2027, these systems will be more sophisticated and more widely available. However, the idea that AI will completely transform education overnight is probably overstated. Educational institutes change slowly, and there are important questions about equity, access, and the role of human teachers that won't be resolved quickly. The key insight here is that AI development tends to be uneven. We see rapid progress in some areas such as programming, processing, and image recognition, while other capabilities that seem simple to humans like common sense reasoning and robust performance in novel situations remain challenging for AI systems. Let's shift our focus to the opportunities. And there are many genuine reasons for optimism about AI's potential impact by 2027. While we might not see the dramatic overnight transformation that some predict, the cumulative effect of steady improvements across multiple domains could be quite significant. One of the most promising areas is what we might call democratization of expertise. AI is already lowering barriers to accessing sophisticated capabilities. A small business owner can now use AI to create professional quality marketing materials, analyze customer data, and even develop basic software applications, which are tasks that previously required hiring specialists or expensive consultants. By 2027, this trend will likely accelerate. We can expect AI tools that make advanced capabilities accessible to people without specialized training. Imagine a farmer using AI to optimize crop yields based on weather patterns, soil conditions, and market prices. Or a teacher using AI to create personalized lesson plans that adapt to each student's learning style and progress. These aren't science fiction scenarios, they're actual extensions of capabilities that already exist. In scientific research, despite the hype and disappointments that some researchers have experienced, AI is making genuine contributions. The key is understanding where AI excels and where it doesn't. AI is excellent at finding patterns in large datasets, automating routine analysis tasks, and generating hypotheses for human researchers to investigate. However, it's less good at the kind of creative insight and contextual understanding that drives major breakthroughs. By 2027, we can expect AI to be a standard tool in most research labs. It won't replace human scientists, but it will make them more productive by handling routine tasks and helping them process larger amounts of data that would be possible manually. The business world is where we're likely to see the most immediate and tangible benefits. McKinsey estimates that AI could contribute $4.4 trillion in productivity growth potential from corporate use cases. While that's a long-term projection, we're already seeing early signs of this impact. Companies are using AI for customer service where chatbots and virtual assistants can handle routine inquiries, freeing human agents to focus on more complex issues. In manufacturing, AI is optimizing supply chains, predicting equipment failures, and improving quality control. In finance, AI is detecting fraud, assessing credit risk, and automating routine transactions. What's particularly exciting is these applications are becoming more accessible to smaller organizations. The dramatic reduction in AI means that the capabilities that were once only available to tech giants are now within the reach of medium-sized businesses and even startups. By 2027, we can expect to see AI integrated into most business software applications. Your accounting software will use AI to detect anomalies and suggest optimizations. Your project management tools will use AI to predict delays and recommend resource allocation. Customer relationship management systems will use AI to identify sales opportunities and personalize communications. This integration won't happen overnight, and it won't be without challenges. But the trajectory is clear. AI is becoming a standard component of business infrastructure. Another area of significant opportunity is accessibility and inclusion. AI has the potential to break down barriers for people with disabilities. We're already seeing AI-powered tools that can convert speech to text for deaf individuals, describe images for blind users, and provide cognitive assistance for people with learning disabilities. By 2027, these tools will be more sophisticated and more widely available. We might see AI systems that can provide real-time translation, not just between languages, but between different communication styles and cognitive frameworks. This could make information and opportunity more accessible to a broader range of people. The environmental impact of AI is also worth considering. While AI systems do consume energy, they can also enable significant efficiency gains in other areas. Only last week I was talking with Richard Savoy about AI-optimized transportation systems that can reduce fuel consumption. AI-managed buildings can also optimize energy waste. AI-assisted agricultural practices can reduce the use of pesticides and fertilizers while maintaining or improving yields. By 2027, we can expect to see more sophisticated applications of AI to environmental challenges, smart grids that optimize energy distribution based on real-time demand and supply, urban planning systems that use AI to reduce traffic congestion and pollution, climate models that use AI to provide more accurate predictions and better inform policy decisions. Now, let's be honest about the challenges. While I'm optimistic about AI's potential, that optimism needs to be grounded in reality, and the reality is that there are significant hurdles to overcome between now and 2027. The first challenge is what we might call the integration gap. Having impressive AI capabilities in the lab is one thing. Deploying them effectively in the real-world environments is quite another. As highlighted in the McKinsey research, while 92% of companies plan to increase their AI investment, only 1% consider themselves mature in AI development. This gap exists for good reasons. Integrating AI into existing business processes requires careful planning, significant training, and often substantial changes to workflows and organizational culture. It's not just about buying AI software, it's about reimagining how work gets done. By 2027, we're likely to see this gap narrowing, but it won't disappear entirely. Organizations that invest in change management, employee training, and thoughtful implementation strategies will see the greatest benefits. Those that try to simply bolt on AI to existing processes without deeper integration will likely be disappointed with the results. The second major challenge is trust and safety. About half of employees expressed concerns about AI accuracy and cybersecurity risks, according to recent surveys. These concerns are not unfounded. AI systems can make mistakes, sometimes in subtle ways that are difficult to detect. They can be vulnerable to adversarial attacks. They can perpetuate or amplify existing biases in data and decision-making processes. The good news is that there's a growing awareness of these issues and active work to address them. We're seeing the development of better evaluation frameworks, more robust testing procedures, and improved methods for detecting and correcting AI errors. Governments are also stepping up with regulation and oversight. For example, the US introduced 59 AI-related regulations last year, more than double the number from the previous year. By 2027, we can expect to see more mature approaches to AI safety and governance. This won't eliminate all the risks, but it should provide better frameworks for managing them. The organizations and societies that develop effective approaches to AI governance will have significant advantages in realizing AI's benefits while minimizing its risks. While employees are generally eager to work with AI, many lack the skills to do so effectively. This isn't just about technical skills, although those are important, but also about understanding how to collaborate effectively with AI systems, how to interpret their outputs, and how to maintain appropriate oversight. Educational institutes are beginning to address this challenge, but change in education happens slowly. By 2027, we're likely to see more AI literacy programs, both in formal education and in workplace training. However, this will be an ongoing challenge that extends well beyond 2027. There's also the question of economic disruption. While AI is likely to create new opportunities and increase overall productivity, it will also automate some existing jobs and change the nature of many others. The transition won't be smooth or evenly distributed. The key insight here is that the impact of AI on employment is likely to be more gradual and more complex than either the most optimistic or most pessimistic predictions suggest. Some jobs will indeed be automated, but new jobs will also be created. Many existing jobs will be transformed rather than eliminated, with AI handling routine tasks while humans focus on more complex and creative work. By 2027, we're likely to be in the middle of this transition rather than at its end. The societies and organizations that invest in retraining programs, social safety nets, and policies that help people adapt to changing job markets will be better positioned to manage this transition successfully. Finally, there's the challenge of global coordination. AI development is happening worldwide, with different countries taking different approaches to regulation, investment, and deployment. By 2027, we're likely to see more international cooperation on AI governance, but also continued competition and divergence in approaches. The challenge will be finding ways to cooperate on shared challenges while allowing for healthy competition and innovation. So where does this leave us? As we look towards 2027, what should we expect and how should we prepare? First, let's be clear on what we're likely to see. We probably won't see the superintelligent AI systems described in the most dramatic scenarios. The timeline for such developments is almost certainly longer than 2 years, and the path to get there is more uncertain than the predictions suggest. What we will see is continued steady progress across multiple domains. AI systems will become more capable, more reliable, and more accessible. They'll be integrated into more aspects of our work and daily lives. The cumulative effect of these improvements could be quite significant, even if no single breakthrough captures headlines. In the workplace, AI will increasingly function as a collaborative partner rather than a replacement. The most successful organizations will be those that figure out how to combine human creativity, judgment, and contextual understanding with AI's ability to process information, identify patterns, and automate routine tasks. In healthcare, education, and other service sectors, AI will enable a more personalized and efficient delivery of services. However, the human elements will remain crucial, particularly for tasks that require empathy, complex reasoning, and ethical judgment. In research and development, AI will accelerate certain types of discovery and innovation, particularly those that involve analyzing large datasets or exploring vast parameter spaces. But the most important breakthroughs will still require human insight, creativity, and the ability to ask the right questions. So how should we prepare? For individuals, the key is developing AI literacy. This doesn't mean everyone needs to become a programmer or data scientist, but it does mean understanding how AI systems work, what they're good at, what their limitations are, and how to work with them effectively. Start experimenting with AI tools in your field. Learn to prompt AI systems effectively. Develop skills that complement rather than compete with AI capabilities. For organizations, the focus should be on thoughtful integration rather than rushed adoption. Identify specific use cases where AI can add value. Invest in training and change management, and develop governance frameworks for AI use. Start small, learn from experience, and scale gradually. For policymakers, the challenge is creating frameworks that encourage innovation while managing risks. This means investing in AI research and development, supporting workforce transition programs, and developing regulatory approaches that are flexible enough to adapt to rapidly changing technology. For society as a whole, we need to have honest conversations about the kind of future we want AI to help create. The technology itself is not deterministic. The outcome will depend on the choices we make about how to develop, deploy, and govern AI systems. Before I wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with this thought. The future of AI is neither the utopian paradise nor the dystopian nightmare that some predict. It's likely to be more mundane and more complex than either extreme scenario suggests. But mundane doesn't mean unimportant. The steady incremental improvements in AI capabilities that we're likely to see by 2027 could have profound cumulative effects. They could make us more productive, more creative, and more capable of solving complex problems. They could make advanced capabilities more accessible to more people. They could help us address challenges from climate change to healthcare and education. The key is approaching AI development with realistic optimism, being excited about the possibilities while being honest about the challenges, being ambitious about the potential while being realistic about the timelines, and being proactive about capturing benefits while being thoughtful about managing risks. The AI systems of 2027 won't be magic. They'll be tools, sophisticated, powerful tools, but tools nonetheless. Like any tools, their value will depend on how wisely we use them. The organizations, communities, and societies that approach AI with clear thinking, careful planning, and a commitment to human flourishing will be the ones that benefit the most from the AI revolution. The future is not something that happens to us, it's something we create. And when it comes to AI, we're all part of that creation process. The choices we make today about how we develop, deploy, and govern AI will shape the world of 2027 and beyond. So let's make those choices thoughtfully, with both optimism about the possibilities and realism about the challenges. The future of AI is in our hands, and that's exactly where it should be. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Inspiring Tech Leaders podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your network. You can find more insights, show notes, and resources at www.inspiringtechleaders.com. Head over to the social media channels. You can find Inspiring Tech Leaders on X, Instagram, Inspo, and TikTok. Let me know your thoughts on AI 2027. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in tech.